back to the Ask an Advisor series, where this series is specific for families with special needs. And right now we're doing a 5-part series where last week was week 1, where we covered the risk of disinheriting your child with special needs. If you didn't catch that video, make sure you go back and check that video. We really want to make sure that your children with special needs are not disinherited from estate plan purposes, and that you are developing the special needs trust and various other tools and resources to ensure they get those resources needed. Well, week 2, we are going to cover the second part of the most common holes that I see in a special needs plan, and that is a mapped out financial game plan. What does this entail? Well, there's 2 parts to it. One, it's ensuring that there is enough financial resources for the parent's lifetime, as well as ensuring there's enough financial resources for the child's lifetime. Where the typical family really only needs to map out the parent's lifetime, and if there's additional resources or if they're in the estate tax consideration, right, they're able to pass money on to the next generation. It's really just seen as a gift, like, here you go, this is a blessing onto you. But it's not necessary, because more commonly the children are able to go get work, employment, and provide for themselves. Well, when you have a child with special needs, particularly one that is unable to earn sufficient income to provide for themselves, we got to map out a game plan to ensure that they get the resources needed to care for themselves long term, even after you're gone, which is a whole different component of planning. And for those people who have enough resources for their own lifetime, well, then you have more option and availability to decide what government benefits you want to take advantage of and those you may not want to take advantage of. For those who have tighter financial resources, really need to lean heavier into the government benefits to ensure that both lifetimes are provided for. But even beyond that, right, it's really having discussions around, one, mapping out the financial game plan to ensure there's enough financial resources for your lifetime as well as your child, but then understanding the amount of risk and the investment plan in order to achieve those goals, right? What is the investment plan in order to satisfy the needs of your short-term cash flow needs as well as your long-term cash flow needs? And maybe your child, if you're in your 60s and you're looking to pass money on to your child 20 years, 30 years down the road, what does that look like? Are you utilizing insurance policies to help fund that, annuity products, or looking at stocks and bonds? And then ensuring that you're taking the proper amount of risk. All of these components need to come together to map out a 2-generational plan for families with special needs. And I totally get it that this is really difficult, right? Because families with special needs are busy, they're tired, there's a lot going on, and we're really just trying to solve the day-to-day needs. And this is something that's just kind of off in the distance often. But here's what I want to encourage you with. The sooner that you can start mapping this out, the easier it'll be to set up the game plan and start working towards those goals. The later you wait, the harder it is to achieve those goals, right? And so start working with a knowledgeable financial advisor who really understands special needs planning and can help you balance out the private and public resources and maximize that to the best of the ability. My name's Rhett Beal. I'm leading this the Ask an Advisor series. Make sure you send in your questions. We want to make sure we get your questions answered, and also be ready for next week where we go over part 3 of the 5-part series of the most common holes I see in a family special needs plan. Look forward to seeing you next week.